Welcome everyone, I'm Ricky from TechTalk, and today's video is a personal favourite of mine where I go through the accessibility settings and features that we find today on the Samsung Galaxy Note20 5G. So a really impressive device from Samsung, but let's see if it meets its accessible needs, especially from my point of view as a visually impaired person. So when you first get your device, as I showed on the unboxing and the setup phase, there were some accessibility options that you could toggle on, change or adjust, or actually to highlight. It's one of the best amount of settings that you will find from a manufacturer at the moment, or on par with Apple. So really good option to see there right from the beginning, Samsung. So I will link that video in the description so you can go and check out the unboxing and setup of the Note20 5G, and it is really impressive to see the options that are on here. Before we get into the settings, there's a quick option that we can use. So I'm just going to make sure the volume is turned up. So the volume is all the way up, and this is a volume key shortcut. So pressing and holding both the volume up and down together.
Voice Assistant on. One UI Home.
So Voice Assistant is now on. So what Voice Assistant will do is narrate everything back to me, everything I touch and highlight. That includes applications,
Phone, messages, internet, camera, Galaxy Store, Play Store, one notification, custom actions, swipe up or down to select, double tap to activate, double tap and hold to long press.
So it gives me some options there. We can also select our weather.
Current location, Princess Risborough, current temperature 12 degree, mostly cloudy, weather, last updated 9th October, 11:51.
So it gives me loads of different options there. We can also go to the top and highlight some of the options up here at our top taskbar.
11:51. YouTube notification, slow motion editor notification, battery 49%.
So I can get to know everything. So when you're moving around, so gestures, use two fingers, our Samsung hub here, and use two fingers to go up and down.
6 things we have learned since the UK went into lockdown.
So just scrolling up and down. Use two fingers to go back if I want to. And then to go to the other page here.
Home screen, page 2 of 2, one UI Home.
We can scroll up to see all of our applications.
Page 1 of 2.
If we go into settings.
Settings, showing items 1 to 11 of 31.
And we can use two fingers and you'll get a pitch tone.
Showing items 1 to 13 of 31.
So that is the accessibility voice assistant option there. Very impressive from Samsung and a really nice option to see on here. Works extremely well, very smooth and very powerful wherever you are throughout the device. Well done Samsung for putting this on here. And it is just an enjoyable feature to use. So to toggle off, you just press and hold the volume keys again.
Voice Assistant off.
So now that's off, let's talk about how we actually find our accessibility settings. So there's a couple of options. So you can press and hold. Show me accessibility settings.
Opening talkback settings.
So open the settings for me that way, which is good. You can also scroll up. You can search for accessibility settings here as well. Or you can jump into the gear icon, which is settings. So tap here, and then what we need to do is scroll down to the bottom, scroll all the way down to the bottom, and what I do is actually count. So 1, 2, 3, 4 from bottom is accessibility. So inside here we have a range of different options that we can use. So first one is our screen reader. So inside here is what I've just shown you, Voice Assistant screen reader option. There's a tutorial to learn more about it. And also there is settings here, wider varied settings to change and adjust and making it even more accessible to you. Good options to see here, Samsung. Big ticks so far. Underneath that, they split into different sections. So we've got visibility enhancements. So for those that have sight loss, just like myself. At the top, you've got high contrast theme and you can toggle this on or off. So once loaded, it's going to load up here and show you what this new theme looks like. So this is different to dark mode, but again, you can make it more accessible to you. Really good options here. So let's go back and let's take a look at the other option. So slight different little subtle changes that they have there. And again, pick and choose the one that best suits you. Underneath that, we've got high contrast fonts. And again, once toggled on there, just makes it a little bit more easier to read. And I think we'll keep that on there. Underneath that, we have high contrast keyboard. So toggle on, and you can choose which ones best suit you. So let's toggle on. So you've got this option here, really nice and large. So a yellow background with blue highlighted letters. You can have it this way round, so a negative sort of look to it. So white letters on a black background. You've got a black background with white letters, but a wider white background. We also have blue as well, making it easier. Blue background with white letters. If you toggle off, you'll see your standard keyboard here. So different options to use there. Again, a really nice implemented option to see. We also have show button shapes. So I clearly identify button shapes for you. You then have color inversion. So color inversion is different to dark mode. So dark mode will make everything black, but keep the colors the same. So like this, we go home here. Just want to show you this is what it looks like now. We're going to go back. We're going to toggle this on. I'm going to go back home, and as you can see, very different there, but for some users actually making it a little bit easier to use. A really good option to see on here, but very different to dark mode, which I will show you. You then have color adjustments. So inside here we can change a lot of different variables here. So you can toggle on, which is grayscale there at the top, making it a little bit easier to use. And then you have different options here to choose from once toggled on. And again, down here at the bottom, you can change the intensity as well. Underneath that one, we have color lens. So color lens is really good as well. So toggle on. So we've got a violet blue lens here. And again, you can change the different levels of intensity. You can scroll through. And for those with a visual impairment, some of these are actually better to use. And it does just make it a little bit easier. So like yellow paper, when you're writing on yellow paper, it's actually better for you than writing on white paper. So toggle this off and it will default back to its original state. We've got remove animations. So this removes any fancy animations that might distract you and may bother your eyes. Our next option that we have is magnification window. So we can go in here, we can toggle this on, we're going to hit OK, and we've got a magnification window. So it says here about the different options that you can use, and you've got an accessibility figure down here at the bottom. So you might need to have the 3 capacitive touch buttons on instead of gestures to get this little accessibility icon down here. So we've got it, press this icon here and it dismisses it straight away. We can stop, lock or cancel depending what we want to do. You can also change the size, and other options are inside here. Really nice options to see there. One of my other favorites is magnification. So magnify with triple tap, toggle on. I'm going to hit OK. So 1, 2, 3. 3 quick taps of the screen of one finger will zoom in for us. You can then maneuver around with 2 fingers, which is really good. And we can even pinch in even more. And with this big, beautiful display from Samsung, it looks absolutely stunning and making it so easy to read, pinpoint and very sharp. 1, 2, 3 to come back. There is also another option where you leave your finger on the display. So 1, 2, 3. It'll zoom in for you. You can use one finger to manipulate your screen, move around very quickly, very fast. And as soon as you remove it, it goes back to its default zoom stage. Again, great option to see there. This will work wherever you are on your device. So coming back, we can also use magnification with our accessibility icon. So toggle on. Our icon appears down here at the bottom. It gives it in orange. Tap on the screen and it zooms in for you. You can tap your icon and it will straight away dismiss for you. Again, different options to use depending on you and what you need. So underneath that, we've got a large mouse or touchpad pointer. So if you want to use a mouse or a touchpad with your smartphone, you can do. So underneath that, we've got font size and style. So I'm really pleased to see that's visibility enhancement, because normally you put it in display. So you can change your font size. We can have bold text, again, making it easier to read. And you've got the style as well. You can change and adjust the style. And it's really good options to see on here from Samsung. Are really well done to them. You have a preview window up here at the top. So we come back now, you can see slightly different again from what we've previously had it. And at the bottom, you've got screen zoom as well. So another option here. So this is about your display size as well. You've got some presets and you can just scrub along here at the bottom and you can see how much bigger it makes it. And again, depending on you, would actually choose which one you want to use. So coming back. So that's everything we see in visibility enhancements. So really good amount of settings to see there right from the beginning. Well done. So moving into hearing enhancement now. The first option we have is a hearing aid support. So this is really key here for people that want to use hearing aids with their smartphones. You can set up the process here, and I'm more than happy to go through this in greater detail if you want to know more about it. Underneath that, we've got amplify ambient sound, and you can toggle this on or off. We've got adapt sound. So we can hit allow here, and you can adapt the sound depending on you. Again, really delving into key options here from Samsung. Well done to them. Underneath that, we've got our left-right sound balance, so depending on you. It is a stereo speaker design on this smartphone as well. We have mono audio, so if you only listen through one channel, you can do. You've got mutual sounds, so for those that are deaf completely, you can mute all sounds of your device. And then you have live transcribe. So live transcribe is a great feature here. We're going to toggle it on. We're going to hit allow. We're going to hit, got it. Our accessibility icon is here at the bottom. And we're going to choose live transcribe. So we've come up with two options here because we've still got our magnification. So live transcribe. So welcome everyone. I'm Ricky from TechTalk. I hope you're doing well. This is a demonstration of live transcribe. This will describe everything that is coming out of my mouth, and what I am talking about is coming up on my smartphone. So a quick little demo there of live transcribe and how easy it is to use. So that was live transcribe there, a very powerful tool and really good for meetings. Underneath that, you then have live captions, and you can turn on live captions. You can go through the settings here and it will automatically start to caption material that is available to use this option. A really good option to see here from Samsung. And again, they're just adding them little extra breadcrumbs, making it even more accessible, which is really important to see. Underneath that, we've got subtitle settings. So you can either use Samsung's version or you can use Google's. So just tap on one here, and this will bring up the settings page for you. You can change and adjust what the box looks like. We can also change alignments, we can change font, you can change text style, you can change text size at the bottom here, making it larger or smaller, just depending on you. But again, great options to see. You could also choose to use the Google subtitles option as well. Then finally at the bottom here, we've got sound detectors. So inside here, we've got baby crying and doorbell. So it will try to detect them if they're happening around you. Great again for those parents with hearing loss, or you want to hear the door, so an elderly person maybe as well. Great options to see inside here, which you don't see in too many other devices. Our next section is interaction and dexterity. So a couple of the options inside here are really important. So one is universal switch. So universal switch is amazing. This is where it uses switches and controls to manipulate your device if you can't with your hands or fingers. Really impressive stuff here. Well done, Samsung, for adding this in. And I really do want to get one of these switches to show you how it works. It is really important. So once set up, it gives you a tutorial, and also just in settings here, the amount of different options that you can change, adjust, and make it work for you is amazing. And I really do want to bring a dedicated video on some of these accessible settings here. So another really good option here to navigate and use your device is Assistant menu. So once toggled on, we get this icon here. So tap this icon and you've got a grid of different options that you can change, adjust, and use your smartphone in the way you want to use it, because it is all about you. It is you that uses the device every single minute of the day. It is you that's going to use this device to your best ability, and it is you that's going to get the best features out of the smartphone. So make sure you go in here, look at the settings, and look what is best for you. At any point, if you're struggling or you need advice, drop a comment down below. And it is so important to me about accessibility that I will be there to help you. I promise you that. So underneath, we've got answering and ending calls. So you can do this with the power button. We also then have interaction control. So toggle this on, and this will give you interaction control with your smartphone. This is where it will limit you to certain areas of your smartphone. Underneath, we have touch and hold delay. So again, this is for those that may take some time using their smartphone, and you can change and adjust the timing here. Underneath that, we've got tap duration as well. So anyone that may have like a dexterity and a little bit of a shake in a hand or a tremor, you might not want to double tap all the time. So it might recognize it as a double tap, but actually it wasn't. So in here, you can change that option. And again, underneath, you've got ignore repetitive touches. Again, when you've got tremors or a shake, potentially, sometimes you may double tap and you didn't mean to. Underneath that, we've got click after pointer stops moving. So remember in visibility enhancements, we could use a large mouse or touchpad pointer. Again, this will click automatically for you. Underneath, we have sticky keys. Under that, we have slow keys. And under that, we have bounce keys. Those are all the options that we see in interaction and dexterity section. Again, really nice amount of settings to see there. So moving into advanced settings now. So they have a few options inside here. You've got your volume up and down keys. So as I've just mentioned here, our volume up and down keys are preset to voice assistant, but you can actually toggle and change that to a different option if you want to. Underneath that, you've got flash notification. This is where it will use the LED on the back to flash when you get a notification. You have notification reminders. And one new feature that I really do like is time to take action. So time to take action is when you receive a notification, it doesn't dismiss instantly. It gives you a little bit more time to take action on that notification if you so want to. Next up, we have voice labels. And then finally, we have Bixby Vision for accessibility. And again, this is a really good option. And we're going to delve in and look at Bixby Vision when we use this a lot more. Then at the bottom here, we've got installed services. So there's installed services that we're already using. You have an about section of accessibility. And well done for this section here at the bottom. They've got a contact us tab at the bottom of accessibility. Now that's not hard to do, but something like that makes it really easy to get hold of someone to help you. Well done, Samsung. Really pleased to see them options inside here. So coming back into our main settings section here, we're going to scroll up and go into display. Here is display here. So at the top, you've got your light or the dark side. You can go to either. And as you'll see, it suddenly changes and just makes it a little bit easier. And again, this happens system-wide, wherever you go. So if I just pull down again, and you can see here. You also have the one-hand UI system where you can pull down and it comes down here at the bottom instead of trying to reach all the way at the top here. You can simply just slide up again and you can choose light or dark side. So we're going to choose the dark side here. We've got dark mode settings. So this changes different options inside here as well. Really pleased to see all of these settings. We then have our brightness, and obviously when you go into red, it's going to impact your battery, also quite bright on your eyes. So just be a little bit careful. Underneath that, we have adaptive brightness. So what this will do is adapt to the light source around you and again protect your battery. You have motion smoothness, so how quickly it glides through different settings. This is a bit like your refresh rate as well, so how quickly it smooths up and down the settings. You have your blue light filter, so this will remove any harsh blue light, and this is recommended using at night time or early on in the mornings. You have your screen mode here, and you can change and adjust the screen mode and the colors again. Again, great to see the different options inside here. We have our font size and style, which we've seen before. Our screen zoom, which we've seen. You have your screen resolution as well, and you can make it the best possible and really enjoy them 8K footage videos you can take on this phone, which is amazing. Please make sure to check out my full review when it does come out. Another option I just want to point out here is easy mode. So this makes it a little bit easier to use. So we'll toggle this on for you. Go home, larger icons, a little bit more scaled back of the features and settings on the device, but just making it a little bit easier to use if you want to. And you can toggle this on or off, and you can adjust it as well. We have our navigation bar. So you can use gestures, but you won't get your accessible figure here. You could use right to left, left to right, or you can use the navigation bar with the 3 capacitive touch buttons. Again, I really like to see that option. I mainly just keep these ones on just so I can get the accessible icon when I need to. You've got touch sensitivity, so this is about your interaction and your dexterity again. But again, nice to see it's highlighted in different sections. You have some more settings here about always on display, quick action to visibility enhancements I've already shown you. So let's press the home button. So as this is the Samsung Galaxy Note series, it's amazing to see all them settings that we have pre-built into the system and the software, thanks to One UI and of course Google Android. But this also comes with the S Pen, and you can use the S Pen. So you can make a note on the front of the display if you want to. So we can make a note if we want to, and we can just start to draw. You can change the color, you can change all different things there. Just saying hi, and don't forget to subscribe. So you can make a note there, we can press home, and we can go back home. Of course, you've got your fingerprint, which is inbuilt. And I just want to highlight a comment that someone said here about actually using the voice assistant and the fingerprint. You can actually touch and highlight the fingerprint sensor on the lock screen, use your thumb or finger, and it will unlock for you. So that setting is not dismissed. And that is a really good option to see there. Well done for highlighting that comment. So we've got our S Pen here. So let's see what else we can do with this. So we can tap the icon here and we've got a list of different options. Scroll down and we've got magnify. So if I just highlight, so my pen is not actually touching the device, it's hovering over it. And as you can see here, we can see what we want to look at and it's just magnifying for me. At the top, we've got some options. So you can change the size. So let's go to 200. Making it a bit bigger. So it's great there to really help see what I want to look at instead of getting fingerprint marks on my display. I can go all the way up to the top as well. We can just dismiss this by tapping the X at the top here. Another option we're going to look at is glance. So highlight it in our S Pen menu, glance, and I want to glance at the Google Play Store. So now what it's done is saved a little window down here at the bottom. Now I can move this wherever I want to, or I can dismiss it. But if I just hover over, so say I want to just glance at something and say it was Twitter, it would update for me. But that's a great little option to see there. Again, adding another little accessibility option there for you. Again, one final option is your live transcribe. So tap here, opens up live transcribe, and away we go. We can start talking again, like the option I showed you in the settings. Swipe up and we've got other options, or you can go back home. So that is all the accessibility settings and options that we find on the brand new Samsung Galaxy Note 20 5G. And it is amazing to see all the options on there. A round of applause to Samsung because that is just phenomenal. Really top level stuff, really delving into visibility, delving into hearing, interaction, dexterity, offering so many options that it's just unbelievable to see. And I think this video is going to be over 20 minutes long. And that is just incredible. That's just showing the amount of accessibility options that are available on our smartphone. It's not just a smartphone for looking at Twitter or looking at TikTok or taking videos or photos. This makes someone's life, it just makes their life so much more important and helps them run through their day and helps them be independent and just helps them feel in tune to everyone else. It is really great to see. Really passionate about this, so well done Samsung. I'm going to be contacting them directly as well, just to say how well they have done. Let me know what you think down below. Could they add more? Is there something you're not too happy with? Great to hear from you. Thanks always for watching. I will put a link into Samsung's website, as well as Vodafone, who supplied this